What's up, everyone? Kevin Allen here from DFS Army, and today we're taking a look at my core for the NASCAR Enjoy Illinois 300 at Gateway Cup Series race. So let's just get right into this race, get right into the track. We've got an intermediate flat track. What's cool about this one is it changes things up just a little bit from what we've seen, which we've been a lot of weird tracks, short tracks, and ovals or high banked. Here we get the flat track, and I think we're going to get a little bit of a changing of the guard in terms of which drivers are going to dominate in this race. Now, what we're going to talk about today is my Fast Five. Five core drivers that you could build around for this race. And with further ado, before we get into the actual drivers, I want to show a really cool thing that we have over at DFS Army in our NASCAR research station, which is lap times, right? Lap by lap averages. So this chart shows the practice times for some of these drivers, and it's really important because you've got a column here which shows your average speed, best lap, and so on and so forth. And it does really present a pretty good picture of which cars are really feeling it for this track. And one of the cool things I like is you can see as they go around the track, they sometimes pick up a little bit of speed. And you can see here Logano had his fastest lap on the last lap that he actually ran in practice, which was the fastest lap anybody ran. He had the best average lap time, which I love because Logano's priced down weirdly today, and I loves that. Ryan Blaney also had some really good practice times, and sitting on the pole is Chase Briscoe, and I just want to make sure that his car is pretty fast because he's really cheap and on the pole and is likely to lead a bunch of laps at the beginning of this race. So let's get right into it. The first driver in my core five for tomorrow's race is Willie Byron, and this is primarily a place differential play. He's starting 24th overall. And Willie B, if he's not crashing, and he did crash in the Coca-Cola 600, but when he's not crashing, he's usually looking good. He's a top 10 driver. He's got a top 10 car. Practice times, not bad at all. Not the best, but not terrible. Didn't run a ton of laps, but it doesn't really matter. It's Willie Byron. He's an elite driver starting 24th overall. That's not one to overthink. 9,800. Now, I did skip over my boy, Ross Chastain. I'm not sure this is the spot for him. I really like Ryan Blaney as well. Really fast in practice, potential to win, but can't really build around Ryan Blaney because where he's starting, he's really going to need to win or come really close to winning. So next up, we have the aforementioned pole sitter, Chase Briscoe. And the main reason I'm playing a pole sitter here is Chase is actually the odds-on favorite to win this race. Now, as crazy as that sounds, Chase is currently sitting at 9-1 to win the race for 7,800 compared to even elite drivers like Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin, all 13-1. So, I mean, the odds maker see something here. We've got Blaney at second behind Chase Briscoe. So I got at 7,800, I'm going to play some Chase Briscoe and a build around. I usually fade that pole sitter, but not today. All right, third on the list, we've got Kevin Harvick. And Kevin Harvick has been coming on as of late. Third place finish in the Coca-Cola 600. A couple other good tracks for him. Forget the All-Star race, irrelevant. But Kevin Harvick hasn't, he started off the season kind of, turdly. And what's more important is he started off the season priced at 10K. So we got we got the willies, the ickies about Harvick because he hasn't really been a dominator. And I don't expect him to dominate here at all. But at 8,500, I'm not looking for a dominator. I'm just looking for a driver starting 20th to finish top 10. So Kevin Harvick has a great chance to move up to the top 10, maybe a 7-8, top 7-8 finish from 20. That's about a 45-pointer, and that's all I'm looking for out of Harvick here. Next up, we've got Joey Logano, the fastest driver, the fastest car in practice. Looks amazing this week. 8,900. Notice what's happening here. Notice what's happening. If I can avoid the elite group up top, the 10K plus group, if I can somewhat avoid them, this is not a great track to be playing these turds. And there aren't very many good turds drivers to really target this week. If you look at the cheap zone here, McLeod, Abiliki, these guys will all be laps behind. Even my boy Colo, I can't quit him. But Colo starting 19th, no good. Gilliland 22nd, it's a no. Zane Smith, haven't seen him, going to have some growing pains. Don't want any of that. So the only driver in the back of the field that even kind of looks interesting and seems like maybe he could, get to top 25 is AJ Allmendinger. And at 35 to 25, you're talking about maybe he ekes out a 30-point score. So it's not enough. So the cheap zone, they're just not doing it for me. There's not enough savings here. But one driver who I do like, who's kind of cheap, is Brad Keselowski, and he is going as the 4th driver in the Core 5, the Fast 5. What do you guys want to call it? I don't know. Fast 5. The Geeks Fast 5. Maybe we'll call it that. Anyway, Brad Keselowski starting 30th, actually had good speed in practice, has looked better each week, and has a great shot at a top 15 here. But he's not going to hurt you, and he's one of the cheapest viable drivers. But again, note what we have going on here. There isn't endless salary this week to mess with. So rather than with very few turds or cheapies that are viable, I think a middling salary approach is the best way to attack this race, and that's how I'm doing it. That's it. So, last in the... Chase Briscoe. There we go. That is it. That's your Core 5. So, Chase Briscoe, starting on the pole, favored to win, 7,800. I'll take it. Brad Keselowski, lots of place differential here. 30th. Top 15 upside. Joey Logano, fastest car in practice. Great shot to win. Love it. Again, I like me some Blaney as well, but he's not going to make my core. He'll be a guy that I have a ton of exposure to, but not build around levels. Kevin Harvick starting 20th, lots of place differential. And Willie Byron, although a nondescript driver at this track, you're always going to take a guy starting 24th who is an elite driver, so we're going to take the place differential. You can see here it's pretty easy to finish out this lineup with a Ricky Stenhouse, with an Austin Dillon, a couple really good drivers. And of course, the way I build my cores is then I'll take this grouping and then I'll switch up a few things. I'll build one with Logano and Briscoe. Then I'll do one maybe without Briscoe, but with someone else. So building around different dominators and different place differential plays, but always trying to use this core. Last week's core crushed. 3 of the 5 drivers I gave out were in the actual nuts lineup, and the other 2 crashed, or they would have been there too. We were like handing out nuts. We're handing out nuts. We're cracking nuts over here, handing them out. Let's do it again. Good luck this week, everybody. Remember, tomorrow, DFS Army VIPs, you'll get the full race breakdown, every driver, all of that. Notes from Taco, notes from Brady, the GOAT of NASCAR sports betting. We got you covered. So good luck this weekend, and I'll see you at the top of that leaderboard. Deuces.